What's going on, guys? This is Manuel Godoy, the CEO of Black Sands, and today we're going to be talking about transforming what it means to be inclusive. Now, what we're going to do today, this is the agenda, right? We're going to have a roughly 20-minute presentation talking about Black Sands, what our mission statement is in the community, and the products that we offer. And then we're going to take about 20 minutes, right? Because it's a 45-minute session to basically talk to you. We're going to do a Q&A. So you guys can have any questions at all at that time when I'm done with this presentation. And I'll go through all of them. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. So it's pretty amazing. You know, I see you all right there from Brooklyn and stuff. What's going on? I'm a Queens native, by the way. So I was born and raised in Queens. And, you know, wasn't exactly the best kid when I was young, but then the military straightened me out. So now I'm back and I'm doing my thing, man. And I just really appreciate being able to talk to you guys today. So let's start it up. We're going to be talking about transforming what it means to be inclusive, and let's get it going. So first of all, what is Black Sands Entertainment? Well, we've been in business for about 5 years, and we've really had an amazing run. We are a Black comic book publisher. Me and my wife, Giselle, founded it back in 2016. And, you know, since then, we've really grown significantly, not just with our title, Black Sands, The Seven Kingdoms, but multiple titles signed from other creators as well. We typically focus on historical and anti-colonial themes. History before slavery is a very key point that we talk about, mostly because a lot of historical content when it comes to African Americans is based on traumatic experiences in our past. And I feel like the culture is something that we really need to focus on. And then, you know, we focus on authentic representation. So all our titles are created by, you know, our community, right? We don't have no outsourced content when it comes to the creators, writers, owners. So that's really important for us to make sure that the stories reflect the readers that are going to be reading them. I see a lot of people introducing themselves in the comment section. That's pretty cool too. So recent news is very important, right? Might as well start off with recent news as far as what's going on with Black Sands. So we were featured on Shark Tank, and just recently we have publicized that we secured our deal, finalized with Kevin Hart and Mark Cuban. We've also been on the Breakfast Club and multiple other things like Forbes. And we sold 200,000 units to date, which is amazing because most of these books are being sold to parents, you know, some educators, you know, and people like that. They really love the kind of content that we're creating. We have thousands of 5-star reviews on Amazon, on Facebook, wherever you see reviews, you're going to find ours. And then we have over $2 million in lifetime sales. That's always a great thing for an independent company, right? And we also raised $2 million through our fans, which is one of the craziest things because that means that we have over 5,000 investors from our community, which also means that when we grow in the future and become one of the biggest people out there, maybe to the level of Dark Horse or even Marvel, that our community will be able to grow with that because they own stock, right? They own stock. They're going to be able to grow with us. So, you know, I just feel like we're in a very strong position right now. And it's time for us to pivot into getting significantly into school distribution. We want to work on that. That is our goal. So let's break it down, right? Here is a video of some of the animation. So if you haven't seen this before ever, this is your first taste of what Black Sands is currently doing.
How long has he trained you?
I did not train him. I took him into the wilderness for 5 years. He has survived.
I forbid this battle.
You will stop nothing.
Damn it, brother. Why must you feel like this all the time?
Asar, you need to think this through.
There is nothing to think about.
How?
So that was a clip from our animation that we did for Shark Tank. And what we're going to do further is actually make an anime for Black Sands. By the way, if anybody has any questions at all at any time, I'm going to be taking these questions at the end of the session. So in about 15 minutes or so. So please leave your questions in the Q&A tab. so I can catch them, right? And I'm gonna be going right through those questions and answering everything you got. Okay. So definitely leave those questions over there. I'm gonna answer them in the order in which they come in, and we're gonna have a really great time at the end. So the age ranges that we make content for is typically middle school and high school. All right, middle school and high school is probably our biggest focus, and some early grade school titles, but not too many. Right, we're looking at 5th grade at the best, but mostly middle school and high school. One of our younger reader titles would be Brazilian Culture Exchange. Brazilian Culture Exchange is pretty cool. Let me show you this right here. Basically, Brazilian Culture Exchange, this book right here, is a 70-page early reader light novel. It has a couple of pictures in there for the most part, but it's mostly a story about a typical Black family traveling the world, specifically going to Rio, right? And when they go to Brazil, they have this tour guide tell them all about the history of Brazil, and they're going to all these different locations. It's pretty cool. It's pretty energetic. We have a lesson plan based on Common Core for this particular book, which means it's great for school for like maybe social studies or even English, right? Maybe social studies or English, whichever one you like. It's a 15-day Common Core lesson plan. And this is the thing that people get classroom sets for. This is the one that they usually get it for, right? This is one of our only books too that has a lesson plan specifically developed for it. We love this book. It's been amazing for kids. It gets them getting into reading, right? Because we need, have these reluctant readers out there. We got to get them to get in there and start reading by choice. This is a great one to begin with. Here's some testimonials from some educators. Let's start off with Amy Dees.
Hi there, my name is Amy Dees, and I sit on the Coweta County Board of Education in Coweta County, Georgia. And as a leader of learners, it's my job to find epic books that will engage my readers and students to help them to become successful. And a few years ago, I ran into Manuel and Giselle Gordy at a writers conference, and they introduced me to Black Sands. I cannot say enough good things about these books. I love the books. I have lots of them. They are fantastic. They are engaging, epic, super fantasy, historical novels that will draw a student into an adventure, and they do so on a lower reading level. So your child who may be a reluctant reader, they will find their voice in these books. They will find themselves because they can read these books. They often can read them very quickly. It's engaging. It's such a great way to engage a reluctant reader. These books help them go on to read novels and longer stories. Giselle now has this great Brazilian Culture Exchange novel out. A little book. It's easy. They're chapter books. It's engaging. It's cultural awareness. It is so good for our reluctant readers and students to see themselves reflected in adventure books. I cannot say enough good things about these fantastic folks at Black Sands.
Hey everyone, my name is Victoria. I am a New York City public school teacher. I teach 5th grade literacy for some time now. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about Black Sands books within my classroom. I have a section of Black Sand books, and for a couple of years now, even before I introduce it or say anything about it, my students naturally gravitate towards that section. And the reason is simple. Us as minorities, we're so underrepresented in literature. And oftentimes when we are represented in literature, it's not accurate to who we are and what our lived experiences are. And so my students, they gravitate towards these books because now you finally have books where, hey, I could see myself in these characters, and I can see myself in the way they act and the way they speak and the way they think. And so they go, and you have students who naturally would avoid reading, wanting to pick up these books to read. Not only are they in comic book style, which students love, but the illustrations are just outrageously great, for lack of better words. And so these students go and they get these books and they read these books and they start learning about history, but they also start learning about social interactions. They are able to see themselves in literature, which makes them want to read more. And there is power in words, and there is power in, learning about history. And so if we want students to learn and to grow and to be curious, then we definitely need to give them access to books like these and to resources like these, like Black Sands, so that they can have this open door, right? Not only to read great stories, but also to start making a difference and to start seeing the power of what they can do in society. So you should have Black Sands books in your classroom if you're a teacher.
Awesome.
Hey, everyone.
Hi.
There we go. So, Kadito from the Schomburg Center, right? Now, some of y'all might know her. Some of y'all probably know her, right? So she gave us an endorsement, a while ago, because, she loves our brand and we've been at the Black Comic Book Festival for years. And this is what she wrote. Black Sands Entertainment has been a vital contributor to the education and public programs at the Schomburg Center. For the past 4 years, Black Sands Entertainment has shared its powerful and inclusive content to thousands of readers, aspiring artists, and comic book enthusiasts at our annual Black Comic Book Festival. They are festival favorites, adored by youth and adults alike. Founders Manuel and Giselle Godoy are exciting to work with. They are innovative visionaries who understand the role and impact that quality, positive, and inclusive representation has on all learners, especially youth of color. Boom. So let's get into the meat of the wagon right here. These are the books. These hardcover books are literally the bread and butter of what we do for schools when it comes to content. All right. Our hardcover books, like this one right here, they are huge, giant graphic novels filled with comic books that are actually inclusive, with original stories, not no superhero stuff like, hey, look at me, I wear a blue suit and I shoot lightning out my hands. That's not what Black Sands does. Black Sands talks about historical settings. Black Sands talks about historical locations and characters from history. That's what we do. And these hardcover books are the grand finale of what we've been doing. All right. So the first 3 ultimate hardcovers of Black Sands is incredible for young readers, especially in middle school. All right. Middle school, you can get 5th grade in there as well. The content's not going to age them out. It's actually pretty much, good enough over there because it's 6th grade reading level as far as like the reading level is concerned. And then you have Andika. Andika's more 8th grade and above, right? It's a more mature story, right? But it's definitely not, adult at all. It's not. And then we have Muntu Warriors. Muntu Warriors is an amazing story about, the different cultures across Africa in general. It has amazing graphics. Some of the graphics you'll see in Muntu Warriors are going to blow your mind. You've never seen characters drawn like that in your entire life. And then Flame is actually one of those cool, like gods versus gods type stories. So this is one of those really fun, exciting action stories. And the creator, King Lion, he's a huge person on TikTok. Like he has like 600,000 followers. He's huge, right? And kids love his stuff. And he knew when he signed to us that we were going to make content for kids. We weren't going to be out there trying to make adult content and stuff like that. So we really made sure that all our content was catered to younger readers so that they can get access, and older readers can still enjoy the content because the stories are kind of mature, right? So the story itself has cool, like really deep storylines and driven storylines, but the content itself is never aged out. That's what we do. It's 1,500 pages. For all of these books combined, over 1,500 pages. They're library bound, all right? That means you can't pull them out their cases, all right? The case is so tight that you can open it sideways like this. You can actually open the book sideways like this and then try to yank out the page. It will not move. It's locked in. It is locked in. It will not move no matter how hard you pull this bad boy. So unless somebody literally just rips it apart like they're freaking Hulk, right? It's not going to break the book. That's what we do, right? And then everything's leveled and graded as well, and it's written by minorities. I hear somebody laughing in the comment section, but that's how it is, man. This is how you sell product. This is how you sell product, right? It can't be boring. uh, I'll get to that too. I see somebody says, do you have a contract with New York City DOE? I don't know if we do or not, but I know our books are sold through Ingram, Edelweiss, and PGW. I believe they do. I believe they have distribution through those. So yeah, I believe they do for sure. Let's see. Follett, yep, Follett. We got distribution with Follett as well. So yes. Some of these titles aren't in Follett yet, so they're gonna update in like 2 weeks or something like that. But all these titles will be in Follett for sure. All right. Now let's go into actual individual titles. Mask of the Orisha. Mask of the Orisha is awesome. It's basically an action adventure series based in ancient West Africa, right? Where Yoruba gods and everything. Mask of the Orisha is amazing. And then you got Codename Inazuma, one of our newer titles. Codename Inazuma is basically a superhero joint. This is a superhero joint by one of our TikTokers. He did an amazing job with this, and he wanted to make something that kids could really enjoy. Codename Inazuma is definitely super PG, one for them. Flame, another one that's super PG for kids. And there's so much content in Flame. He has like freaking 400 pages of content and hardcovers, all from Flame. Flame is a big title. Black Sands, you can read it and watch it. Black Sands got anime. Black Sands got freaking everything you could think of. It's based on ancient Middle East. There's freaking, there's Kemites, there's the Cushites, there's Minoans, Greeks, the Sumerians, Canaanites. It's crazy. It's like literally the craziest story you'll ever see. Black Sands is like history, but with a little bit of freaking mythology in there as well. It's really well put together culturally. I'm telling you, man, this is wild. And then let's go to our next ones. These are actually the more historical titles. So these titles don't really have special powers, except for Andika. Andika has special powers, but it's still based on Malaysian culture. So I let that one slide. But the first one, Inca. Inca is a book that I written, right? So it's not one of my creators. I actually wrote that one myself. It's a series based on the Incan Empire at the height of their power. The legend of Kiz. Kiz is one of the generals in the Incan society, and he literally was around for most of the major events that ever happened in the Inca. This is not a fantasy story. This is not a superhero story. This is a straight up historical drama, kind of like Vikings, but with the Inca. All right. And then you have Granada Shadow, a story about the Moorish Empire and the First Crusade, because the First Crusade was against Spain, right? Because Spain was owned by the Moors at the time, and the church said they want to get Spain back to the original Spaniard, what's it called, royalty. Right. So Spaniard royalty basically lobbied to the church to go and raise an army and push out the Moors. This story is about that time period. So it's pretty cool. Lion's Game is about martial arts tournament in ancient Mali. All right. So this is a whole bunch of warriors coming from all across West and South Africa, coming together to do a martial arts tournament to find out who's going to be the next general in the empire. And this story, Lion's Game, has some of the most beautiful and articulate art of Africans you'll ever see. No loincloths and spears. These people all look like royalty. They're all rich. It's all powerful. These are the kind of looks that you'll never see in any typical like stuff you'll see in the media right now. All right, no loincloths, no spears, no huts. We have entire cities, empires, armies, and all that other good stuff, and cool martial arts. Carthage. Carthage is a story about when Carthage was taken over by Rome during the Third Punic War. So this is an actual story of rebellion. This is where they had already lost the war, and now they're trying to get their country back, right? They're trying to fight off against the Romans who currently occupy them. I think it's an amazing title, a great time period to go and focus on. So that's what we're doing. Lastly, the section for strong women. So we have some strong women titles we have in there. Cosmic Girls. First of all, who said Black girls can't be intergalactic bounty hunters? You know what I'm saying? All right. So this is one of the titles that I actually created this one. I wrote this one specifically because I felt like too many stories focus on like very superficial things, like I love my hair, I love my skin, right? I'm so happy that I can finally accept that I'm Black. I don't necessarily like that energy, right? I want kids to just have a great like character that they can look up to and say, that's a cool Black girl. You know, I want somebody to say that. That's a cool Black girl. She's awesome. She's amazing, and I want to be like her. That's so that's what I decided to make. Something like that, right? It don't have to be superficial, right? So that's what I did. Iniola, written by my wife Giselle. So Iniola is a story about a young woman who's a martial arts master. She's been trained in martial arts. She went to a lot of martial arts tournaments, but something goes on in her life where she's basically thrown into a situation that's way out of her league. But because of her training and because of her attitude and grit, she's capable of surviving the situation and becoming the hero of the story. This is very much like Die Hard. So if you've seen Die Hard, John McClane doesn't have on his resume, and I'm going to take out 40 terrorists in a building solo. All right. That's not in his resume. He's just a cop from New York. That's what John McClane is. He's a cop from New York. That's the kind of story this is. She's just a martial artist. That's all she is. She isn't a superhero. She hasn't done any of this stuff before. And when a huge attack happens, now she's basically the only one that's going to be able to deal with the situation. All right. So that's the story that we're going on here. So it's like Die Hard. It's like Colombiana, right? This is what you're talking about here. Lastly, Madagascar. Madagascar is an amazing story because it is historical. It's a historical drama. All right. This is the story about Queen Ramavo. If you don't know about her, Google her. All right. She is the most hated queen in all of African history. Why? Because she kicked out the French and the British from her country. All right. She kicked them out. She said she had no chill at all with anybody who was supporters of the colonial powers at the time. So she was very ruthless with the opposition parties and stuff like that. So they basically called her a mad queen and everything else, right? Queen Ramavo of Madagascar, right? And basically what we're looking at here is a story that's telling the actual story of Queen Ramavo without those colonial eyes, right? That say, oh, she was a mad queen. What was she really trying to do? What was her goal? What was her end game? What was the things that happened to her in her life, right? This is what we're talking about in that comic. So that's an amazing story. And lastly, let's talk about school visits. All right. So school visits, I do school visits sometimes. I'm a pretty busy guy, right? But let's talk about school visits. Typically it runs a half a day, right? Because I do travel, right? I have to travel a long way. So I do like half a day at least. I ain't gonna do no 45 minutes, right? And we give special discounts if we're visiting 3 schools. So if there's 3 schools in the district that want to book us, right, we'll typically give a discount, you know, since all 3 are taking us for the day, right? We're doing a whole day in one location. It's not that bad for me as far as like travel is concerned, right? So I tend to give out a nice discount for that. We also can offer animation lessons because we have a lot of animators in-house, a lot of animators who are part of our company who are actually really good creators themselves. Like the person who made Cosmic Girls, the artist, he's an animator and he can teach classes as well. So we have those as well. And then we have a complimentary 3-day tour if a large purchase order is placed at the district level. So let's say 10,000 books are ordered by the district, right? 10,000 books. And think about it. It's not that hard to do 10,000 books because that's basically 1,000 books of every single hardcover book, right? So it's only 1,000. And if it's 100 schools and 10 books to each school, that's 10,000 books, right? So it really isn't that crazy to think about. But you get me for like 3 to 5 days. I'm going to be in your district for 3 to 5 days, going to school after school after school, visiting people and everything else because, you know, you support us. I'm going to support you. I'm not going to charge you nothing. I ain't going to do anything. That's complimentary because, you know, you're really helping us get these books in front of the kids, right? So we're going to make sure these kids know who made the books, right? And how they can eventually make books like this as well, so long as they have the aspirations to write, to read, and to work together as a team with other creators. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing. All right. So that's it for us as far as this presentation is concerned. Our books are available through PGW, Ingram, Edelweiss. I see somebody who wanted Follett. Follett is also as well. You can also email me at manuel@blacksands.com. And then let's go to those questions and answers. All right. So question and answers. I want to see some questions and answers here. I'm going to stop this share so we can go and get some face to face. At least you can see me. Right. So I'm here with you guys right now. And I'm going to be going through these questions from the top to the bottom. All right. So let's see. Do you offer a free, first of all, well, there's no name here. So teacher says, do you have a free website option for low income parents? Yes, it's called BSP Comics. Go to the App Store, go to BSP Comics, download the app, has 1,000 reviews, 5-star, right? And read some comics for free. Now you got to do some gotcha stuff, like you got to go enroll for new comics and everything else, but eventually you're going to read everything for free for the kids anyway, or that on that app. So go ahead and download the app, it's free, right? And go through the list. And if you want to become a subscriber and just unlock everything on day one for like $5, you can do that too, right? That's very good for access. Next one, Shireen Anderson. All right, Shireen Anderson from Brooklyn. Would love to connect you regarding an opportunity. Okay. Giselle, I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna copy this before I say it's answered, and I'm gonna put it in Skype for my wife. Where is it at? Where's Skype? There we go. Let me go put this in there. She'll contact you. Boom. All right. Answered. All right. Next, is there a link to the PowerPoint? I'll send the PowerPoint out to all the people on the email list. So I think I'm going to get an email list of all the participants. I'm going to send the link to that. And, I probably will be able to get the link to this actual presentation as well. So that'll also be linked as well. Is there a Discord? Yeah, there's a Discord. I actually, I'll figure out a way to go and share. I'll probably share that to you with the list later on. Is there an IPO in your future? 5 years from now. 5 years from now. Are you available for a career day or an assembly at DOE schools? Yeah, absolutely. We're performing arts middle school with a great art program. We'd love to have you. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Try to get with a whole bunch of other schools as well. Maybe you have a sister school or two, and book us all together, because it gets expensive if we go to New York for half a day. So you might as well get us the whole day. Everybody gets a better deal, right? And we stay there all day and go to multiple schools. So that's gonna be pretty cool. And we do workshops. So it's not just, hey, I'm here, I have a book in my hand, look at the book I wrote. Congratulations, kids, go out there and be somebody. No, we actually do actual classes. So, if we got workshops where you want to learn animation, or you want workshops or how you make a comic book, stuff like that, we do that, right? We're not lazy visitors, all right? We're not lazy visitors. Let's see. Are there any adapted versions for our special education, middle and high schoolers who are low level, high interest readers? I don't know. I don't think our reading level is that high, though. I'll be honest with you, but I don't think there's an adapted one. Maybe we could partner with one of those organizations in the future who do adaptions for themselves, right? But we don't have it necessarily. But you should check out the content yourself. Go to our vendor booth and read Black Sands Volume 1. It's there. The PDF's right there. So you can read the entire Volume 1, check it out for yourself, see what it looks like, see what the content's like, the level, and then you'll be able to see how you feel about it. Is there any chance that you could pay a visit to our school? Absolutely, 100%. Just talk to my wife, Giselle, or email us. Like I said, I'm going to be emailing everybody on the email list, so please just look at Black Sands. Please accept Black Sands. Don't put it in the promotions tab, okay? Black Sands is going to be emailing you about these schools, all right? So 100%. Is there any interest to invite children to add and build concepts of the comics? Not necessarily. That's something that's more, company level, right? So we don't take outside stuff. How do we become a part of this amazing project? I don't necessarily know. We do need advocates. So we need people who are actually going to reach out to other schools, let schools know. We got to get in schools. I'm going to tell you a little story. And I want you guys to really understand this, because this is a crazy story, okay? I'm in Alabama. I'm in Georgia. I'm in Mississippi, in Mass, in schools. All right. I have a lot of books in schools in Mississippi, in Alabama, in Georgia. I'm a New Yorker, born and raised. I got a freaking bachelor in economics at Queens College. All right. I'm a New Yorker. I'm a real New Yorker. Right. My books ain't in New York. It's wild. It's wild. We need to change that today. We need to be hardcore up in New York, straight up, because That ain't right, man. How Alabama and Mississippi gonna be more progressive? Real talk. How we gonna let that happen? We can't be this we gotta do something about this. So that's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Will your books be added to Sora, the digital library app? I didn't know that even existed. So let me go and talk to PGW and let's see what we could do about getting Sora in there. I'm going to copy that. Oh man, I just lost it. Let me see. Let me go and put that in the comment section for Sora. Oh yeah. Let me see here. Sora digital app DOE. All right. I got that one in there. I wanted to make sure I got it. Where's my? Yeah. Where's my thing at? Why can't I see my? What is going on? I can't see anything. Can you guys see me? Because I can't see nothing.
Manuel, we can still see you.
I know, but I can't see nothing. I think my screen totally disappeared. Oh well, not much I could do about that. All
Manuel,
right.
I could drop in the questions in the chat box for you.
Yeah, I'll see it here. I still got the Q&A, so that's good. I don't have anything else though. I can't see chat. I can't see anything else. That's fine. I'm gonna keep moving. That's what you're supposed to do. So let's go. How do we get a sample of publications or other materials to review? The best way is, first of all, you can download Ultimate Volume 1 right through what's it called. You can also email us directly. So if you email us directly, we'll give you a link to our complete digital catalog. There you can actually check for yourself which content's right for you. The hardcovers is definitely the ones we say you should get because they're going to be on every single website. So Follett, PGW, Ingram, whatever. It's going to be on all of them. Otherwise, it's going to be on all those platforms. So the hardcovers are definitely going to be there no matter what. And the soft covers is something that you're going to have to order directly from us. So if you have some extra funds, like the funds that are like discretionary, then you can get those saddle stitch books, right? But typically the stuff that's like very, DOE specific, you got to go and get the hardcovers from those distributors. Let's see. Do you collaborate with other writers or do you create your own library content and stories exclusively? We sign other writers. So we sign a lot of people. We've done that plenty of times. Muntu Warriors is a completely different story made by a Frenchman named Junior Beckley, right? He wanted to write some stories like that. So that's what he did. We signed him for that. King Lion, aka Everett Montgomery, he writes Flame. Andika is written by Nanzo. So we have a lot of different writers in our company, a lot of owners, right? And they're signed under our label. How long do you think it will take for a special education version to be complete? I don't know. I really don't know. We should look into that. Is there a cost for a subscription? For on the app? Yes. On the app, you can pay $15 to be a subscriber. And we also are eventually going to get digital titles and the other apps as well. I just checked New Jersey DOT for the title. It's not available. Is your company contracted with the NYC DOE? Yeah, so I don't know yet. We got to figure that out. I don't know. Do you guys order books from any distributors? Right, not the DOE contractors, but straight up like distributors, like Follett, PGW, Ingram, any of those places. Edelweiss, whatever. Right? Do you guys, if you order from that, that's where you can find our stuff. Right? But we'll also get a contract as well for DOE. We'll become one of the vendors because I know a lot of the school business will have to be booked through that way as well. So we're going to be setting ourselves up for that as well. There you go. Follett and Mackin. Yep. You'll probably find us on Follett for sure. Mackin, I don't know. Maybe we're there, but definitely Follett. Look up Black Sands. Is affirmative action related to the topic of inclusiveness? No clue. Do you have a vendor number? No, not yet. What is the link for these comic books? Is there any discount for educators? Yeah, 50% discount. So if you're ordering directly from us on our website, just contact us via the chat button on our website, blacksands.com, and we'll give you a 50% discount on any order that has 5 or more of any specific titles. If you get 5 of something, you'll get 50% discount on it. All right. And no taxes, obviously. Are the books available for digital download? Eventually, we're going to put them in there. Eventually, we're going to have digital content as well. That hasn't been done yet, though. Are you looking to collaborate with Black artists for illustrations and apparel collaboration? Not yet. We've already done it plenty of times in the past. We're just not looking for anything new right now. Are there any books on Amazon? Yep. Black Sands 1 and 2 are on Amazon. I think it has 1,000 reviews on Amazon. You can always order from there. How many Black Sands titles are there now? So there actually is 11 chapters of Black Sands, The Seven Kingdoms, 2 chapters of Black Sands, The First Pharaoh, 1 chapter of Black Sands Titan Wars. And that's just for Black Sands, The Seven Kingdoms, like the main story. We also have 16 other comic books as well from other creators, other titles, stuff like that. Well over like 4,000 pages of content. So, you know, let's see what else. I ain't got no much time left. Yeah, I got about 10 minutes max. All right, let's see. Mr. Godoy, are you giving out information so we can contact you for offer visits? Yes. Just go to my vendor booth. Go to my vendor booth, and you'll be able to contact us directly there. The phone number is right there, so you can literally call Giselle. Giselle put her business line on there, so you can call her right now if you feel like, and get some details on how you can set that up. That's not a problem. This is fantastic. You can let everyone know how, where they will be able to purchase them through the DOE. Yeah, I think the main thing is figuring out which vendors are selling to the DOE. So in other words, which distributor is selling to DOE? Is it Follett? Is it what's it called? And then once I find that, I can give you a direct link to the Follett listing of my books, right? From an artistic standpoint, we have many Black and brown students who want to be artists in graphic novel world. Would your company ever have internships available for our students here in NYC? Could they learn where they could learn from the pros like you and staff in order to gain experience, chase their dreams? I can light the fire under their butts. That's what I could do. I don't know if I can put them in a program. You know, we're in Delaware, so we're in Delaware now. But I could definitely light that initial fire for sure. Go out there, have some people online who can also attend virtually, and we'll just go through the process of how to make this stuff. Thank you. How much alkaline water have you had today? Why you say alkaline water, man? What's that about? Can you put the link to purchase the series in the chat? I can't, but I think my assistant can here. So blacksands.com, that's a great place to look. Also, whatever distributor goes through DOE. I'm going to look that up. So I'm going to ask my my contact at PGW and Ingram today, who is the vendor who sells to DOE, so I can get that information from you, so you can all order from DOE. I mean, from that vendor. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the system. I'm definitely in the system as far as like vendors are concerned. What is your email address again, sir? That is Manuel, MANUEL at blacksands.com. Manuel at blacksands.com. And what a school visit entail? Assembly, art and education, graphic arts as a career. Mostly it is, introduction to what the books are, who we are, how we got to be there. And eventually, if there is sessions to be had, it really depends on the school and what they want to do. You have me for a half a day, right? So you might want a smaller setting where we're making actual comic books or doing animation, stuff like that. We could do that, actually teach the methods of how to do that. Or we could be talking more about the high level stuff, like the management side, the entrepreneurial spirit. How the heck do you build a team and find people? How do you build your skills up so that you could become a worthy artist one day, right? So it really depends on what level you want to be on, low level or high level, as far as like the engagement, right? Obviously, a high level, you can have a much bigger audience, right? Low level, you kind of want to keep it down to about 30 students, right? So brightest and most motivated, that kind of thing. Has nothing to do with schooling, but would you make a movie out of one of or all of these comics? Well, Black Sands is definitely going to be an anime, and Kevin Hart said so himself. So Kevin Hart said so himself. It's going to be an anime. We're going to make that. We're definitely going to make that. It's going to be big too. Okay, so here's one from Elizabeth. Elizabeth has a great question. Our library funds can only be used for certain companies. Follett is one. Well, yeah, we're in Follett. Do you anticipate additional titles being added before spring? Yes, actually, you're going to be added before the end of the month. So before the end of this month, we should have all 10 of those hardcover books in the system, and I think 2 additional children's books in the system by the end of December. That should be in there. And we're going to have all our reviews and everything else in there. So yeah, it's going to be in Follett. Now that I know there's definitely Follett who works with the DOE, now I know what to look for, what to make sure that it's in the system properly and everything else, okay? So I'll make sure that everything's in the system properly on Follett so you guys can order. For the free comics, can you repeat the link again, please? BSP Comics. Look up BSP Comics on the App Store, iPhone, Droid, whatever. Do you have audiobooks? Nope, I do not have those. How can you get you to come to our school when you're in District 3? When you're in District 3 for our career day? I don't know. I'm here in Delaware, but you can always book me. So if you want to book me to come out to your school, that's not a problem. Just let us know well in advance, and we'll be able to set up a schedule for you. Are there stories that are not about conflict? Any for kids who do not like action stories? Well, it really depends on what you mean by action stories. Because, for instance, Madagascar is a drama, right? Like it's a small amount of action in Madagascar compared to the politics of, the old world, right? And then let's see what other titles we have. Inca, right? Well, the first 8 pages of Inca is like war, right? But then the rest of the story is like a political marriage between 2 empires and the celebration of that marriage, and then the ramifications of that marriage 20 years from now as the son of that marriage comes to age and threatens the leadership and rule of the older brother. It's like so it's like it really depends. Like we don't do nonstop action in our stories. Like we really don't. Like there's a large amount of lore and world building and relationships and all the stories that we generate, except for Flame. Flame is like, straight up hardcore battle royale. Any biracial, multi-ethnic Black characters? I'm sure there are. I mean, it's your call to say whether they're biracial or multi-ethnic. I know one thing: we have a lot of Arabs, we have a lot of Greeks, we have a lot of Minoans, which I cast as Hispanic people, right? Because there's no real Hispanics in ancient times, but I would assume that Mediterranean white guy, right, is basically Puerto Rican, right? That's what I assume. So all the Minoans in my story are, basically Puerto Rican. And also, Manoa is a matriarchy, which is really cool because that means, it's a female-led society. That's actually historically accurate too. Manoa was actually a matriarchy. That's pretty cool. Sumerians, Greeks, Canaanites, Cushites. That's a pretty dope. Black Sands is super inclusive, super freaking inclusive. I mean, a guy with vitiligo, man. One of the main characters is vitiligo, all across his face. Let's see. I think we're out of time. Unfortunately, guys, I think we're out of time. So there's not much I could do about that. But like I said, we're going to be at the vendor booth. So if you absolutely have to continue the conversation with us and definitely want to get information, go to our vendor booth, Black Sands Entertainment, and we'll continue to chat over there. You can also call us. All right. Our phone number is on that vendor booth. So you can call us to get any information you need. And now that I know that it's Follett that sells to DOE, I will make sure that Follett has the best possible resume for Black Sands you've ever seen in your life on the systems. You guys can order, okay?